Hello friends, today we're going to be solving absolute value equations. At the top we have some very important information. We know that the absolute value of any number times x plus b should equal c. When c is greater than or equal to 0, then you would set it equal to a positive c or a negative c and solve. The answer is going to be between those two solutions. If c is less than 0, it has to be no solution because the absolute value of any number is positive. So let's slide down and get started. All right, so first off, we have the absolute value of x minus 4 equals 6. Since the 6 is positive, we're going to set this x minus 4 equals a positive 6, and x minus 4 equals a negative 6. And the reason being that this number, when I subtract 4, it could either be a positive number or a negative number within the absolute value system. Within that absolute value, then we would get that 6. So within that absolute value, I could have a positive 6 or I could have a negative 6, and it would both equal to 6. So if I solve for x here, I have that x equals 10. And I can check because the absolute value of 10 minus 4 is the absolute value of 6. Oops, that got strange. Sorry. And the absolute value of 6 is 6. So that does work. So that is a correct solution. And then the x minus 4 equals a negative 6. So I would add my 4 to both sides. X would equal to negative 2. And I can come over here and check. Negative 2 minus 4 is 6. So the negative 2 minus 4 is the absolute value of negative 6 is 6. The absolute value of negative 6 is a positive 6. That also is true. So now let's look at graphing. So if this is 0, negative 2, so x is equal to negative 2, I would have a solid dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. X is equal to 10, so again, I would have a solid dot, and I would connect these two dots with that line. Now let's look at example 2. We have the absolute value of 3x plus 1 equals a negative 5. Yeah, did you catch that? Equals a negative 5. Can the absolute value of anything be negative? No, it cannot. So this is no solution. No matter what number I put in here, if I took the absolute value, I'm going to have a positive number because the absolute value is the measure of the distance from the center to that number. All right, so let's go down to example 3. Now on this one, you can see we have the absolute value of 3x plus 9 minus 10 is equal to negative 4. So on this case, we have to take this constant and get it across by using the inverse operations. We're going to add that 10. So the absolute value of 3x plus 9 is equal to 6. Because this 6 is positive, I'm going to set it equal to 3x plus 9 equals positive 6, and 3x plus 9 equals negative 6, because what I have in this absolute value could be positive or it could be negative. Subtract my 9 from both sides. 3x equals a negative 3, so x equals a negative 1. And I can check the absolute value of 3x plus 9 minus 10 equals a negative 4. So 3 times a negative 1, absolute value of negative 3 plus 9 minus 10 equals a negative 4. Absolute value of 6 minus 10 equals a negative 4. The absolute value of 6 is 6. 6 minus 10 does equal a negative 4. So that is a solution. Now let's do when you have the negative. So minus 9 on both sides, 3x equals negative 6, and another negative 9. We have negative 15. So in this case, x equals a negative 5. Now let's go over here and check. Negative 5 times 3 would be negative 15 plus 9 minus 10 equals a negative 4. Negative 15 plus 9 is a negative 6. So the absolute value of negative 6 minus 10 is a negative 4. Absolute value of negative 6 is 6. 6 minus 10 is equal to a negative 4. So negative 4 equals negative 4. That works also. So notice that both of my x's in this point are negative. So when I graph that, they're both going to be over here in the negative. So negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5, and that would be my graph. At this point, pause the video, do the you try 1 and you try 2, and see how you feel. See you back. How did you do? Did you remember to set it equal to a positive and a negative? Oh, good. All right, so here we have just the absolute value equals the number. So m plus 3 equals 7, and m plus 3 equals a negative 7. So subtract my 3 from both sides. M equals positive 4. Absolute value of 4 plus 3 equals 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. The absolute value of 7 is 7, so that does work. M does equal 4. Subtract my 3. M equals a negative 10. The absolute value of negative 10 plus 3 equals 7. Negative 10 plus 3 would be a negative 7, so the absolute value of negative 7 is 7, so that works also. So in this case, both of them are positive. Here's my 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my m equals 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's my 10, and I connect. All right, 4b minus 5 equals a positive 19, and 4b minus 5 equals a negative 19. Add my 5 to both sides. 4b equals 24. B equals 6. Absolute value of 4 times 6 minus 5 is 19. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 minus 5 is 19. Absolute value of 19 is 19 also, so that is correct. Let's add my 5. Remember, this is negative. 4b equals a negative 14. B equals negative 14 divided by 4. So that would be negative 3.5. So absolute value of 4 times a negative 3.5 minus 5 equals 19. Negative 3.5 times 4 would be double, that would be 7. So double that would be 14. 14 negative, because that's negative, minus 5 is 19. Negative 14 minus 5 is absolute value of negative 19 equals 19, and that is true because the absolute value of negative 19 is 19. So in this case, I have a positive and a negative outcome or solution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's that solution, and negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, and there is my graph. All right, ask me questions in class. Try some of the questions below, and I will see you later. Have a good day.